In this episode of Toys Back Zen, we're going to be taking a look at the classified 6-inch Sergeant Slaughter made by Hasbro, and I've also picked up this Dungeons & Dragons Toons Hank. We're going to take a look at these, open them up, look at the packaging, and see how these new Dungeons & Dragons figures compare to the classifieds. So stay tuned and let's check these out. So first, let's take a look at Sergeant Slaughter here. Here's the front of the packaging. Here's a close-up, and you can see here on the right-hand side we've got some comic-style art, and on the left you can see he's holding a figure. So this figure does come with several hands. It comes with a little tiny mini figure and quite a few accessories. We've got hat, glasses, we've got the whistle that goes around his neck, we've got his baton, and some accessories that go with the rifle. We've got the artwork here on the side. It's very striking, and you can tell that Sergeant Slaughter really means business. Now, taking a look at this environmentally friendly packaging, I do like it. I'm glad they're doing it. You've got a lot of actual pictures of the figure, so you get a really good idea of what you're getting in the box, and I think that they've been doing that quite well. You can see here the ranks on the side of the box too, so we get all of that. What I do like here is you can see how the comic of the figure is running on the brim of his hat that you can see on the side. Opening this box up, we've got a box inside a box. This is like a weapons crate. It's really cool, and we can see that the figure is in its own little box here. Even the ties in the back is made of some kind of paper material. So I really like that. Let's get him out of this packaging and check out what the figure looks like up close. They've really got these ties on there really well. I think I'm gonna have to get some scissors or something and we can cut these off. Yeah, okay. Let me grab some scissors. We'll cut these off and get him out of his little box here. Probably could use this box as like a backdrop if you wanted to. We'll just put it over to the side. I'm probably going to put it back in the box that he came with, and we'll store it like that. Let's take a look at the figure. He looks really good. He does remind me of the 3 3/4 inch figure that we got back in 1986. I don't really care for his pins in his elbows, but his hips go out pretty wide. He's got all the late 22 articulation that you'll see on most of the classified figures, but like I said, he's got those pins in his elbows that you can see, and I think they could have made him pinless. It would have been nice because he's not really wearing a shirt. You can see his skin, and you know, it would have been nice to see that, but he's got all the same articulation. It's really nice to get the butterfly joints, the double elbow joints. He's got some nice articulation on the head, hips, double knee joints. Got some big muscles on the biceps there. He looks really good. Now, he's got those closed hand fists. I think I'm probably not going to be using those. I know he does come with a lot of other hands that you can get. So we're going to open up this weapons crate here and check it out. I do really like how they put his name on the front, Sergeant Slaughter, and there's a keypad there so that you can pretend that it's been locked and you have to know the security code to get in. Again, continuing on with the environmentally friendly packaging, everything is in cardboard and in paper bags. So I think they could have used a lot less plastic tape here on the cardboard pieces, but you know, they're trying to keep everything secure so that the loose accessories don't get broken. We put the crate over to the side. It does have 53 on the top of the box, which is the figure number that is on the box of the packaging. Let's get all this stuff out of the packaging here, and I'm going to have to cut this out. Look at the rifle on this side. It's got some paint apps there. It looks really nice. Turn it around. Here's the other side. You can see that there is a spot for a scope that we can plug in. And there's a spot here for a magazine, which we'll plug in later on. We'll check that out when we put it all together. Let's take a close look at his baton here. It's got a little bit of gold paint on the top, and we've got some brown on the handle of the baton. And I like those details that they put in on this. Let's take a look at the whistle. You can see the strap is kind of on a bend. It's kind of bent a little bit, so I really like that. It's probably going to sit nice on his chest. Here's some details of the scope before we put it on the gun, and then here's the gun all put together with the scope and the removable magazine. Look at the details of that gun. They're just getting so good at doing these. I really, really like this weapon. And here is Sergeant Slaughter. I've got him posed the way I think I will have him posing on my shelf. He's got his glasses on. They fit really well. He's got his hat. That fits really good. And he's just really super posable. The only thing that I don't like about this figure is that you can't put his baton anywhere on his body. Hasbro has been really good at doing that, where they have storage for all of the accessories. And he doesn't have any storage for his baton, which is unfortunate because I don't want to put the baton in his hand. So he does come with a carded figure of himself. I think this is the coolest thing ever. It's my favorite part of actually the whole figure is this mini carded figure. It's really super small. It's about 18 millimeters tall. And I think it's really cool. He's got the vintage G.I. Joe artwork on the card. On the back, he doesn't have like a file card or anything like that. It's just a G.I. Joe Stars and Stripes logo. But, you know, I think it's really cool. And I'm going to leave it in the packaging like this and display it beside the figure on my shelf. Let's take a look at Hank, the Dungeons and Dragons figure that I have. Now, he is painted to look like the cartoon, and that's what is depicting here on the front of the packaging. You can see the back. We've got Bobby and Diana. They're two other figures, and we have a picture of the actual figure with his accessories here in the three bubbles. Here is the artwork on the side. Looks really cool with the dragon behind him in the background. Here's the logo here on the corner. It's got a really interesting cut to the packaging. And it is interesting that they put the little blurb on the side of the box here instead of on the back where they would usually do it. On the side of the box it says, serving as the leader and eldest of the group is Hank. The ranger uses a bow and arrow as his weapon, defeating dragons and enemies on the group's quests. Let's get this thing out and see what it's like on the inside. So they do have everything in paper bag style packaging. They even have Hank in one of the bags, probably to protect him from moving around a lot in the box. And here we can see his details here. Kind of interesting to see what his articulation is like. Is it anything like the 6-inch classifieds or the Black Series by Star Wars, or are they doing something completely different? Before we take a look at Hank, let's take a look at his accessories. He has this translucent bow and arrow here. It's almost got like a lightning arrow, and he's got a bow with, doesn't have any string or anything on it. It's just a bow by itself. That's kind of weird. It's kind of in a different color too. It's opaque, and it's kind of like opaque yellowish brown color. And you can see that the bow is probably from the same mold here, because it looks exactly the same without the extra stuff on it. We also have the multi-sided dice here. If you've played Dungeons and Dragons back in the 80s, you're familiar with these dice, and you can probably use these in the game if you play the game. It's pretty cool. I like the red. So let's take a look at Hank and look at his articulation. I tried to pose him like he is posed on the front of the packaging. He does have double knee joints. The left knee I tried to bend with the double knees, but they wouldn't bend, and you're going to see that I've got some stress marks in the knees and elbows. I do like how his shirt comes down, and it's a really malleable rubber. His legs do move up quite far forward and quite far back, and his shirt does not impose from that movement. He does have some waist articulation and elbow articulation, but unfortunately he does not have double elbow articulation, which I think is needed when you are trying to pose this figure like you see it in the picture, either on the front or on the back of the card. There is some stress marks there, so he can't really bend his elbows as far as you need to pose him. His neck has some pretty nice articulation, and it has a swivel and up and down. And I really like the paintwork on his face. It looks really good. There is some bad paintwork in the back where the dark green has kind of bled into the olive green. And I do like the looks of how they put all of the studs on his shirt. It looks really cool. So like I said, I tried to pose him like the front of this box, and he cannot hold his elbow back like he does in the picture. And so then I have him posed here just like that, and you can see the difference. He's got his right elbow bent as much as he can bend it, and it does not look like the picture. So either that's a digital rendering of this figure, or they did have double elbow joints and they skimped on that, which is unfortunate. So thanks for watching this episode of Toys Back Zen. I had a lot of fun checking these figures out, posing them, and checking out all of their articulation and their accessories. They both have their drawbacks, and you know that from my review. But I do enjoy these, and I just hope that the Dungeons and Dragons figures will get a little bit better. You think that Hasbro would be able to make them perfect from the beginning. Right, Sergeant Slaughter? Please like and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of these figures. And take care.